This is a video that I legitimately do not want to make, but I feel like I have to make it just to sort of get something off my chest, because I've tried to make a Reddit post in the past on the r/Overwatch board where I'm just talking about the issues in a constructive way. I was just giving my honest feedback in that post, and the mods removed it, and I think they banned me from posting, I think. Can't be certain on that, but I tried to make another post and it wasn't really showing up. Anywho though, it's kind of why I'm making this video, because like I know that if I put this out on my Twitter page, or if I put this out especially on Reddit, I will be met with a lot of lashback from people that don't want to admit they might have buyer's remorse. That's kind of a loaded statement right there, but what I mean by that is that there's a lot of people in these communities of free-to-play games that make a lot of purchases, and I mean like a lot, like I'm talking hundreds of dollars, way past their usual game budget. Maybe they're just whales and they just do that in general. But a lot of people will make a lot of purchases, and when they realize that people don't like the game they just made a lot of purchases on, they will religiously defend it in hopes that they will not experience buyer's remorse, because in some small way they're already experiencing it. Those kind of people are the ones that would just lash out on my post and probably report me to moderators. So for that reason, I'm making this video. With this video though, I just want to go over things that legitimately are making me quit. I'll just say that right now, yes, I am quitting this game after I complete the battle pass, which I paid Microsoft rewards points for. I'll probably come back to it a year from now, but as far as I know, there is legitimately nothing that would ever get me back on this game again. So to really just get into the topic here, the first topic, let's just talk about 5 versus 5, right? I have extensive, because I play a lot of Overwatch, I have extensive experience with both 6 versus 6 and 5 versus 5. I even have a lot of gameplay videos still on my PlayStation from the Overwatch 1 days. And I could say with confidence and with a lot of with a good understanding of what I'm talking about here, I could say with confidence that 6v6 was just objectively better than 5 versus 5. People will hear this and they will legit go insane over this. I don't know why either. I've tried to have rational debates with people about this, and nobody seems to be able to come up with a good reason why 5 versus 5 is somehow mysteriously better than 6v6. The main thing people bring up is, oh, visual clutter, oh, double shielding, but the problem with that sort of argument is that, well, double shielding, there was a counter for that. Overwatch is a game about counter picking. You counter pick to counter something, even if it's a really annoying meta. So if you were going against 2 shields, what you did is you would choose Winston if you were a tank, or you would, if you were damaged, you would choose Bastion, Symmetra, or Sombra. In fact, Symmetra was actually buffed so that she would actually gain ammo if she was beaming a shield down, right? So she would actually gain ammo and she would have her full ammo capacity by the time she blazed through all the shields, and she would tear through all the tanks and all that shit. So usually when you played Symmetra, it forced the double shielding tanks to switch to something else like countered Symmetra, or was able to avoid Symmetra. And with visual clutter, people say that visual clutter is really bad in Overwatch 1. It's actually now worse in Overwatch 2, with Lifeweaver's tree, with Kariko's fucking ultimate, with Symmetra still having that giant wall as an ult for some reason. The visual clutter is actually worse. Tanks was never even a problem when it came to that shit. It was actually just heroes in general that had big ults. They just created an issue like that. That's a fundamental ult problem. So 5 versus 5, to get into like good detail here of what I mean by 6v6 is better than 5 versus 5. If you've had any experience with 6v6, you know that every match, quick play or competitive, was like a game of chess. It was more tactical, not tactical, it was actually, there's just more variety, right? There's more variety, more diversity in the kinds of games you'd get into. You never really ran into the same meta back to back all too much. There was always a certain combination that was new. It was more fresh, more fun. There was more tactics. It was like as I said, this complex game of chess back and forth, and it was fun. It was engaging. It was interesting. And with 5 versus 5, that complexity, which made the game special, is now gone. So if you've noticed, if you've paid attention to what tanks do in Overwatch 2, you would know that both of the tanks in the match, all they do, and I mean all they do, is they completely ignore each other and they just wail on each other's backlines. It doesn't matter if the enemy is playing Doomfist, it doesn't matter if they're playing Winston, Reinhardt, Orisa, Sigma, Ramatra, it doesn't matter who they're playing, they will ignore you if you're the enemy tank and they will wail on your backlines. It is just it's just checkers. It has literally gone from chess to checkers, maybe even worse. Because all the complexity, all the variety is now gone and is replaced with this weird, watered down head clicking simulator where players, heroes like Ash really thrive. And, it's not fun. It's not fun anymore. It wasn't fun the second season around. It wasn't fun the third, fourth, or fifth. It's just watered down. And to get to really my final point here, well, actually 2 points. This will be kind of really quick. Competitive system was all fucked up. I'm not even going to explain why. Everyone's already talked about it. The competitive system is so bad, I actually avoid it now. It's really that shitty. But my final big point is the microtransaction system. So I got into, I don't know if I already said this, but I got into Overwatch early 2018, like right before the content drought really hit. And that reward system, that microtransaction system of being able to earn loot boxes or buy them, and you got rewarded for playing the game, and it was a very generous system. That system literally kept me playing throughout the entire content drought up until Overwatch 2 came out. That's how engaging that system was, on top of the already great gameplay. With Overwatch 2, instead of being rewarded for playing the game, and instead of having a fair microtransaction system, which I thought was even great for even whales and average players, now you have a system that is like offering you a really bland and shitty battle pass for $10. The battle pass system, I have to just like kind of get this out there because I don't see anybody really talking about this much, especially not content creators. But is it just me, or does the battle pass system feel like a chore? Like you get on and you're not getting on to have fun anymore. You're getting on to grind the battle pass that you paid for because you don't want to miss on those FOMO cosmetics. So you get on to complete challenges, aka chores, to complete the battle pass. And once you complete the battle pass, you're like, oh, this game's pretty shit. And you just kind of like stop playing. Is that just me, or does it happen with everyone else? Because when I interact with this battle pass, I get on in the morning, I see 3 daily challenges, a bunch of weekly challenges. I'm like, well, instead of playing the mode that I want to play, which might be an arcade, it might be Total Mayhem, which is a mode that I really loved in Overwatch 1, that they kind of somehow found a way to fuck up in Overwatch 2 with Zarya and etc, etc. I could just go on and on all day. But if I wanted to play Total Mayhem, well, if I played that, I would miss out on completing my daily challenges, which are needed to complete the battle pass. And if I don't complete the battle pass, I don't get the stuff that I paid money for. In this case, again, Microsoft points, because I'm never paying any real money on this game because it's a fucking shitter title. So the system is forcing me and others, presumably, to play in ways they don't want to play. And it's forcing them to play in ways that are not really engaging. So they're just getting on to complete chores and they just get off. That's what I do. That's what I've seen some people do that talked about it on Twitter. Of course, if you brought this up on Reddit or Twitter, people would tell you to stop complaining and just, enjoy it, be content. Those kind of people that if you're riding a roller coaster and you pointed out that, hey, the roller coaster leads into a brick wall, somebody would reach over and scream at you to stop complaining. And if you keep complaining, just get off the ride, etc, etc. People don't like to really admit when something is really bad if they're currently being surged with dopamine, or if they're just trying to avoid buyer's remorse. It's those two things. So the battle pass system is bad, on top of the item shop system, which is actually the worst I've ever seen. So for the price you're paying, you're getting so little that it really makes you wonder why anybody would ever buy them. And in fact, most people actually don't buy them. The vast majority of people that I've seen are using legacy cosmetics. I've literally only seen 4 people running around the skins, and that's not a good number. You know what I mean? I've seen a couple of different people with the new Reinhardt box skin, cardboard box skin. I don't know why somebody would pay $20 for that, but I've seen this one guy in particular named Jaws on console, 'cause that's what I play on. I've seen him just run around with skins and shit, and every time a new skin comes out, he is wearing it. There's only a couple of whales that are really buying these skins, and when they do, it's kind of like cringe. Every time I see somebody wearing a shop skin, I'm not thinking, wow, that's a cool skin. I'm thinking like, wow, you dumped $20 on that. That's kind of the thought process going through my head. I don't publicly shame them. I don't like to like talk shit to them, but that is subconsciously the thought that's running through my head as somebody who normally doesn't care about cosmetics. So that's kind of my main points. I know many others have likely already hit all the points that I've talked about, but this is just, I don't know, it's a particularly bad situation for me personally, because Overwatch was literally the game that kind of I mained for so many years. I mean, I quit GTA to play Overwatch. I quit Call of Duty to play Overwatch. I quit everything else to primarily focus on Overwatch. And now I'm sitting here wondering, like, man, how long can a man like me really last on a game like this? So, as I stated earlier, after I finish this last battle pass and get my Microsoft rewards points worth, I'm quitting the game. Like I said, might come back to it in a year from now, might be coming back 2 years from now. A part of me wonders if one day they'll sort of make the microtransaction system a little better, or if they might bring back 6v6 because they realize it was a failure. Truth be told, I don't know. If they never fix the game at all, I may never come back, but who knows? Overwatch 1, when that came out, the loot box system was apparently really bad, and they ended up kind of fixing that after some point. So I have some faith that Overwatch 2 could really experience the same thing. If I really had to trust my gut instinct, I'd say it's not going to happen anytime soon, if at all. But for the slight slimmer of hope that it might happen, I might come back to the game one day. So, yeah. Depression. Luckily for me, though, games like X Defiant are coming out soon. That looks good. I mean, it is free to play. It is going to have that microtransaction system, but at least it'll have an interesting gameplay dynamic that may keep me sort of invested. If not, I might just quit games entirely because honestly, fuck video games. The entire industry is going to shit. All that's really enjoyable nowadays are old games and indie games. So, yeah. That'll be it for this video. I'm sure there's some part that I missed. Maybe the features they removed, like On Fire, the voting card system, the borders, the leveling. I don't know. I'm sure there's something in this video that I missed, but that'll be it for this video. This video's gone on for long enough. I'll see if I can make another video after this, but yeah, been a while since I uploaded. First upload in, what, a year and a half? So yeah, that's about it. See ya.